Jaang here. Welcome to the first episode of Rise of the Jaang, where we'll follow the Jaang Dynasty from the beginnings as rulers of a single duchy on the eastern coast of India. We'll play through 2,000 years of game time in Crusader Kings 2, Europa Universalis IV, Victoria 2, Hearts of Iron 4, and finally Stellaris. We're starting here in the Jaang Raj, that is your part of the not yet formed kingdom of Orissa. Our capital, Kataka, is on the Silk Road, so the first thing we'll do is start building a trade post. Here's our trade post right now, already begun. Haven't even taken ourselves off pause. The second thing we'll do is start fabricating claims on the Duchy of Kalinga to our south. So we send our diplomat to start fabricating claims as soon as we start. We're taking our marshal, putting him in the capital to train troops. We're putting our steward in the capital to research economy tech. Our spy master is being sent to spy on the Western Protectorate of China in order to steal technology. And our court priest, our Biadyaya, is being sent to our capital also to facilitate tech growth in our capital. One of the things we have a problem with right now is we're on Gavelkind. We're in Gavelkind. Our ducal laws for inheritance put us on Gavelkind. This is a big problem for us because this will divide up our personal domain every time we have a change in leadership, every time our leader dies and is replaced by his heir. We need to go to primogeniture, but in order to do that, we're going to need our technology to be up to legalism level 3 so that we can then pick the realm law of late feudal administration. So we have about 700 tech points we need to get in cultural tech that we need to steal, beg, borrow, or steal in order to get ourselves ready to switch to primogeniture, which will really allow us to grow our dynasty, so we can start getting lots of dynasty members, lots of children, lots of concubines, to pump out the dynasty members without worrying about the realm splitting each time. So the first thing we're going to do as far as laws are concerned is we're going to pass a law allowing us to revoke titles. This will allow us to, if anyone becomes a traitor in our realm, we'll be able to seize their titles. One of the things we're going to have to seize at some point is we only own 2 of the 5 counties in our home duchy. We're going to need to own all 5. We're going to need these 5 as our personal domain, which means this ruler who owns 2 counties and this one who owns 1 county, there are subordinate rulers, there are vassals. We're going to need to seize that land. Fortunately for us, they are both of a different religion from us. So one more law change will be able to, without angering the rest of our vassals, seize their land. If they try and betray us or form plots in the meantime, we'll take it sooner. Another thing we're going to do as soon as we start is we're an independent ruler, so we'll set our crown focus on our capital. We're also going to pick a focus for our ruler, and we're going to pick scholarship. As soon as we save a little bit more money, we're going to build a observatory, which will help us research technology as well. We're also going to pick an ambition, and our ambition is to become the king of Orissa, which is not yet formed kingdom. If we take a look at the de jure kingdom map, this is where Orissa would be if it was formed. Currently, of course, we're in this part of it. We're sharing it with several other dukes. We're going to need to fabricate claims or otherwise figure out ways to take their land so that we can form our kingdom, or have them swear fealty to us so that we can form the kingdom of Orissa. Another thing we're going to do before we take ourselves off pause is we are searching for anyone who will come join our court. And we're inviting them all. The reason we're inviting them all to our court is several reasons. Number one, some of these people will be better diplomats and better generals and better stewards than the ones we have available already, and we'll plug them into those positions as needed. Another thing is that they will come with claims, many of them, and at some point we're going to want to marry members of our dynasty off to foreigners who have claims and then press those claims so that we can seize land and bring it under our control. Also, some of them later in the game, not right this moment, but some of them will have money that they've saved up. If they come and for some reason they're in our court and they don't have any remaining heirs outside the court, we'll get all the money, which in the early to mid game can be quite a boon for a small duchy. In the late game, it really doesn't matter. We'll be making so much money that extra money from people coming into our court, it wouldn't really be a very large impact. But early in the game, it's pretty huge. Also, when they have children in our court, we're going to be educating all of the children or children they bring with them to our court. We're going to be educating them all in our culture and our religion. And hopefully if they go back to their areas, they'll take our religion and our culture with them, and it may spread without us having to do a whole lot other than educate their children. Speaking of culture and religion, we are Buddhist, and barring any unforeseen circumstances, we're going to try and remain Buddhist throughout the entire mega campaign. And continue that. We're also Orya. It's a Indo-Aryan culture, Northern Indian culture. We're going to attempt to maintain our same culture of Orya the entire time. This means that when I'll show you the de jure culture map, or the current culture map, we're Orya, Indo-Aryan, meaning that once per ruler lifetime, we'll be able to seize a kingdom from people of the same culture group, which is the Aryan. So the Bengalis, the Assamese, the Nepalis, the Hindustanis, the Rajputs, the Gujaratis, the Sindh, and the Punjabi are all within, and the Marathi, if there's a ruler there, are all within our cultural group. So we can seize one kingdom per generation from them. The Telugu, the Kannada, and the Tamil are not in our culture group. We're going to need to marry into those families in order to get a claim to press for a grandchild or a great-grandchild to take those kingdoms. One thing we'll need to be aware of, even though we don't care about caste as Buddhists, the Hindus who are in the Telugu, Kannada, and Tamil areas care very much about it. We're going to need to maintain Kshatriya caste, which is the caste of warriors and kings, within our dynasty, or at least within the main line within our dynasty, so that we can intermarry into those families at least until such time as we've seized all of their land, or expanding outside India where the caste system doesn't have any members. We are unmarried at the moment, but we have a son as an heir, and we have two spares, which are two daughters, who we may have to switch to agnatic cognatic in order to allow one of them to take the throne if our son were to die through unforeseen circumstances. But we're going to remain unmarried because we don't want our realm to split because of Galvakind prior to raising a lost primogenitor. So we are now ready to go forward. We do want to recruit a court physician, which I'm going to do now. And we want to recruit some commanders, but we'll wait until after all of the people we just invited start arriving in our court. So now we're setting us up to speed 5. My two favorite speeds are pause and 5. And now we're going forward. And we have people already joining. We have a surgeon poet, a Chinese surgeon poet, excellent, as our physician. And we have other people from China, Northern India, Southern India, Tibet, all of them coming to join our court, which will prove very useful for us. Now let's take a look and see if any of them are possibly better than the people we already have. Yes. This individual is a much better chancellor, and we're going to send him to fabricate claims on the duchy to our south. Let us see, is there a better marshal? A much better marshal. This Chinese gentleman will become our marshal, trading troops in the capital. And the others will leave as they are for now. We'll also see if we have anyone who will make a good commander. Someone has to be better than this person. There we go. We have another commander. And we also assign a court tutor at this point. We need someone of our culture and religion. And this gentleman will do. So now we're going forward. Zooming out a little bit, you can see the borders of Jaang. Raj right there. Raj is the Indian name for a duchy. So this is the Jaang duchy. We're going to be forward. Also, we have a decision to make, which is build an observatory. We now have enough cash to do that. I can't wait. And we're also going to join the Buddhist Society, the Savaka Sangha. There we go. There are many benefits to joining the Buddhist Society. We can get rid of vices, create virtues in our subordinates and in our heir. And also later we'll be able to point to a county and switch it over to our religion, convert half the population instantly. We also have some technology gained by our spy, which is good. And I have decided that I want to become brave, or at least, there we go, I'm now brave. Excellent. More technology has been stolen. Let's check our tech. It looks like it was military and economy. We also have a dangerous faction is forming. Let's take a look. The Thakra of Kodaka Mandala, which is this county right here. Thakur is the Indian equivalent of a count, is attempting to lead a faction against me. And if he succeeds, there'll be a revolt. So we'll see where that leads. Also, I'm working with my observatory to get more tech. I wonder what strange things I will discover. We move forward. We'll save money in case we need to hire mercenaries. Now, here we go. I now can imprison him. He is now attempting to take a claim on my duchy. I can imprison him without getting any tyranny or without angering the rest of my vassals. So the first thing I will do will be to raise all of my forces and my vassals' forces, concentrate them in the capital. I'm also continuing to study the stars. How do the stars move? Well, we'll find out with that observatory. Now that all the troops are gathered together with appropriate commanders, I will now attempt to imprison this traitor to the realm. And no, we failed to capture him, and he has raised his flag in rebellion. Very sad when people rebel and you're forced to kill them and imprison them. I didn't want it this way, but some men you just can't reach. Alright, our forces are victorious so far. And we're beginning the siege of one of his counties. I've studied more through the observatory. It's very interesting. Move forward with the siege. And now we'll go crush his army and siege his other county. We're at 99% war score. And my son is sick. I will send... this is not good. I thought I had a court physician already. They want a white peace. No, they are not getting a white peace. What they are getting is a prison sentence. I must move forward. I am putting more gold into my studies. And as one of my missions, they're asking me to construct a temple. I'm going to decline to construct a temple for the Buddhist Society because I do not have enough money right now. And we are victorious in our siege. We are at 100% war score. We're offering peace, and our offer is you go into a prison cell. And now that you're in the prison cell, we're revoking each of your titles because you are a traitor. This, of course, does have the benefit of doubling our personal domain. We have gone from 2 counties to 4 in a mere 2 years. Took them from our vassals, but still, we've doubled our personal domain. This will increase our size. I'm going to disband the troops. And we'll continue forward. Seeing where this leads us. Now we can take a look at the political situation around us. The Pala are quite powerful. in most versions that I've seen of history. They control the Bengal or at least the throne of Bengal and Bihar, if they don't even hold all of Bengal at the moment. And they become quite powerful. They are Buddhist like us. Most of the other rulers are Hindu, even if the areas they're ruling over are not Hindu. For instance, this area in the Jaang Dynasty, which rules over Kamarupa, are Hindu, but their entire kingdom is Buddhist. Same thing with Shantidevaraj. It's part of Bengal, at least, but it's an independent part. They're not under the king. And the area is all Buddhist, but the ruler is Hindu and Bengali. No other major. There, of course, is the Tibetan Empire to the north of us, which is rather large. They will rarely come down into India, but we'll see. The Rashtrakuta family, which controls two kingdoms here, despite their revolt. Karnataka and Maharashtra are usually quite powerful. We'll see how that goes. But let's continue on and see what happens in our neck of the woods. There's another dangerous faction. Because our troop count from the two seized counties that we had besieged has not come back up. As soon as it does, we'll have a lot more troops to deal with this sort of thing. Yeah, Kinjala and Kijinga need to bring up the troop count. My studies have given us more military technology points. I sense a harmony out there. Yes. Looking through my telescope. Time passes. What is happening? The earth is shaking. A peasant has come to me. He says, something strange. Well, of course, show me the way, peasant. It's a hole in the ground with a foul smell. It's crept over the city the day the earth shook. A wound that burst open in the farmer's field, spewed fire and brimstones. I must take a closer look at this. I need this gap closed. Filling it with stones. Keep shoveling. Oh, this is interesting. While I'm dealing with the hole in the ground, matters of life and death. Summon the council. Do I wish to be immortal? No, I do not wish to be immortal. Well, maybe. We'll summon the council. We'll find it. And the gates of hell are filled with stones. A monthly prestige, some martial, an opinion. All right. I must persist in my studies. I will have someone organize a search party to see if I can find out about immortality. We'll move forward. All right. Now we come to the first of my children needing a tutor. We will find her a proper tutor. Or not. All right. And also, we will see if there's some way we can marry her to matrilineally. We want to expand our dynasty. Looks like there is a prince of Kosala who would be willing to marry matrilineally. He's a little bit older, he's 20. There's also a Bengali kid with no title claims. This child has a claim on Zigaze in it's a kingdom in the Empire of Tibet. And we have a Kannadian kid who has a claim on Gangavati, which I believe is a duchy in Karnataka or Maharashtra. He's a Kannadian kid. We'll do that. We will betroth her to him. Excellent. And we will recruit a court physician. Apparently the court physician we had hired died on his way when he never arrived. Small vial of my blood. Hopefully she cleaned her needles before that. And more learning from our observatory. Military technology points as well. This is excellent. We're going to spend quite a bit of money to see if I can somehow become immortal. I doubt there will be success on that. And something about flowers. We will send out for flowers. All right, this is through the British Society. We're going to attempt to study floriculture. We have more technology has been stolen by our spy master. Quite a bit of military technology at this point. And now we can spend money to get some culture points, which we need. And our tech for culture has risen. We need a mere 600 more to go to primogeniture. And I am publishing my findings as, from my scholarship studies, I am now known as the Able. Kadaja Jaang is now known as the Able. And I have become charitable. At this point, our second child is ready for education. We'll assign a different guardian than ourselves. We'll see if anyone will marry her matrilineally. We have an heir to the Raj of Vibarba who will marry matrilineally. Well, why not? Should even expand our dynasty into other kingdoms. And at this point, we're in July 774. We've gone forward about 4 years, 4.5 years. And we're ready to end episode 1. So to recap, we have built a Silk Road trade post. We have put down 1 rebellious vassal. We've expanded our personal domain from 2 to 4 counties, doubled in size, and we have managed to find matrilineal matches, one of them quite good for our 2 daughters. And we're well on our way to growing our dynasty as we are 4.5 years into Rise of the Jaang. If you liked this episode, come back for episode 2. I'll see you then.